Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of our Selling Internationally series. This time, we're talking about the UK market, and who better to do that than our very own marketing project manager, Isa.
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. I'm Isa. I'm in Printful's marketing team, and I work specifically with the UK markets.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about why the UK market is such a great choice for sellers in the first place?
Yes, so the UK is a great market to sell to. It's very active. It has many people that are used to shop online, that are used to various e-commerce platforms and marketplaces. And the great thing about selling to the UK with Printful is that we have a local facility in Birmingham. With this facility, we're able to offer you products and brands that are very popular in the UK. We have a whole team that's constantly doing research on which products and brands are trending. Also, with the local facility, your customers in the UK will get faster shipping. Our average shipping time is between 2 and 5 business days. Local fulfillment also means your customers won't need to pay any custom fees since the products are fulfilled and shipped within the UK. This also brings me to mention shipping costs. They will vary on the products that you're selling as well as the shipping option that you select. Shipping options depend a bit on the e-commerce platform that you integrated your store with.
Yes, that's exactly one of the things that people don't consider when thinking of why should I fulfill products locally? Why can't I just ship everything from the same thing? They only think about shipping costs per se. But something that you need to keep in mind is that you don't pay customs when you're shipping domestically. And the way you can check this, by the way, you can go to the availability tab of the products that you sell or want to sell. You go to the product page, scroll down and see availability and see which facilities this product is fulfilled in.
Right. You can also check then at the same step what colors and what sizes are available in the facility. All of this again to make sure that the products are fulfilled within the UK and you will not have to pay extra custom fees, or to say your customers won't have to pay them. But if you would like to broaden your product catalog, you can also offer products that we, for example, fulfill in our European facilities. I'd like to mention that we have a facility in Latvia and one in Spain. So there you might find slightly different products, which you can also, of course, sell, but be mindful that it will mean longer shipping times for your customers, as well as potentially custom duties and taxes.
Speaking of taxes, this is one of those things that people are kind of always worried about. So can you dispel the mystery and share what taxes should people be aware of if they want to sell in the UK?
Please first of all know that neither one of us is a certified tax expert. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to a tax specialist. But to give you some general information about taxes in the UK uses the VAT, which is short for value-added tax, that's added onto both domestically fulfilled products as well as products fulfilled outside of the UK but shipped to the UK. Printful is a registered VAT payer in the UK, which determines on how VAT is charged on orders either fulfilled within the UK or outside and then shipped to the UK. There are two ways how to go about this. So first, if you maybe don't have a VAT ID yet, you should know that on domestic orders, a VAT of 20% is being charged, determined on the Printful product price. The VAT for international orders, so those again fulfilled outside but then shipped to the UK, depends on the order value. If the order value is below 135 Great British Pound, the same 20% VAT will be applied. But if orders are above 135 Great British Pounds, your customers will be charged for custom duties and taxes upon order delivery. The second scenario I'd like to mention is that maybe you already have a UK VAT ID and you've submitted it to Printful through the Printful dashboard. In that scenario, again, domestic orders get charged 20%. And orders that are fulfilled outside of the UK, Printful will not charge you VAT for it. Instead, you as the seller have to collect the custom duties and taxes from your customers.
So I hope you guys over there pick this all up. So first, you figure out if you have a VAT ID or not in the UK. Then you figure out if the order is shipped domestically or internationally, so if it's coming from within the UK or outside of the UK. And in one of the scenarios, you also have to keep in mind how valuable the order is. So the total of the order, whether it's above 135 pounds or below. We have linked like a Q&A type of section that you can go to in the description in case this feels complicated. You will fall into just one of these scenarios, right? You're not gonna have to keep them all in mind every single time.
Right. What I'd also like to mention is that for some sellers, so this depends on the store integrated, you might be able to use the Delivered Duty Paid option, in short DDP. With DDP, custom duties and taxes will already be included in the shipping price, so your customers are paying it already before the order even gets sent and delivered. This removes all of the hassle for customers because they will just get their order and everything's already paid up front. But again, please remember, this is not available to every store integration. For example, certain Shopify or WooCommerce stores might allow you to do it. So check our FAQ that we're gonna link below and check your own store integration.
I feel like this is one of those fantastic opportunities that if you have it available for you, you should definitely take advantage of. So go and check if your integration and your shipping rate allows for it, and use it. And the next piece of advice is talk to a certified tax professional. These are people who actually know what they're doing in your very specific situation. We can only provide this general information. So we've talked about taxes. I feel like we should kind of stay on the money side of things. The UK has a very specific currency, so maybe you should consider that when selling, or maybe there are some pricing considerations that people should have. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So again, if your integration allows you to, it's a great chance to offer the local currency in your storefront of Great British Pounds. With Printful, you will always see that we also offer the products in this local currency, so you get a better understanding of what might be the win margin and also to adapt it to economic strength of the market. Then there are also several pricing strategies that you could keep in mind, so please run some calculations, check your options and see what you feel most comfortable with. The win margin might be very different, but it might be useful for different stages of your e-commerce journey to price your products differently. And then, lastly, transparency. You should always declare information to your customers on any applicable cost, especially if you offer products that are not fulfilled within the UK. This will allow your customers to get a better idea of costs that might occur later in the buying process.
And this is important. It's not just like a nice thing to do, right? If you surprise someone who's your customer with costs that they didn't expect, what you're gonna end up with is a very negative review, an angry customer, things that you as a business owner should be trying to avoid at all costs, because that is going to hurt your business in the long run.
Exactly.
So we've kind of covered the things that are essential to set up a store, where you've covered all your bases from legal stuff to where your products are fulfilled. But how do you make sure that people in your target market, in this case in the UK, actually want to buy your product?
Yeah, this is a great question and something that you should consider before starting your business, but also throughout the various stages, so you make sure that you are up to date and very relevant. For that, it's a great opportunity to go to social media, to networks, online communities, everywhere where people share their experiences, share their interests, and you get to learn what's actually trending in this market. This will allow you to always have designs, campaigns, any visuals and content that are relevant to your audience. Then it's also great to consider that British English spelling might be different than what you're used to wherever you are from. So be mindful of that, because content that is adapted to British English will make your customers feel more familiar, and it can be the slight tone that makes the difference for your business.
The whole spelling thing is actually super important, not just because you want to sound familiar to the market, but also you can avoid terms that might be misconstrued in your target market. So even though if we take the way English is spoken in the US and the way English is spoken in the UK, there are terms that overlap but have slightly different meanings. And you don't want to confuse people, you don't want to potentially offend people. So make sure that you're aware of how people speak.
Also, with the UK, you should consider there are different traditions, customs, and holidays. That can be a great option for you to sell products, create designs, or any campaign. So the UK, for example, Bonfire Night or the Glastonbury Festival or Boxing Day, it's different than in the US. The next tip is to really know your audience. So it will help you to have a clear idea of who are your customers, who might be interested in your product. This will help to talk in the right way about your products and your brands, and to present yourself on the right platforms, in the right places. So always consider that. It's a great thing. You can already do this when you do your market research. And then from a marketing perspective, it's crucially important nowadays that you turn up in the search engine results. So whether it's on Google or Bing, make sure that, for example, your product descriptions are optimized to whatever you're selling and whatever is trending right now. This way, people will find you even if they did not yet hear about your brand elsewhere. There are so many funny search terms. For example, you can use so many online tools to check what is the highest demanding keyword and then put this into your content on your website or even in your social media profiles.
There are also a bunch of these smaller things that are kind of obvious, but people sometimes forget, which is, let's say if you want to spend some money on social media advertising, you can target locales specifically to be in the market that you're seeking.
Exactly.
All right, thank you so much, Isa, for coming on here and for sharing your fantastic advice with people. This, I think, is super helpful, especially if someone isn't super sure on how to do taxes in another market. So hearing somebody explain things bit by bit and understand how it works, I'm sure is going to be a game changer for people who want to get started.
Great. I'm super happy to have been here, and I hope that what we've told you today will help you with your journey on entering the UK market in 2025.